Welcome to our team. We will now review the policies and procedures for employees. The topics covered are listed to the right of the screen. All applicants are placed based on experience and the client's criteria. Work assignments offered are short and long-term temporary, PRN, and temp-to-hire placements, many that lead to long-term employment. The more flexible candidates are, the better the chances of achieving employment goals. Candidates become employees upon acceptance of a work assignment. Performance and attendance are monitored and critical to future assignments or the outcome of attempt-to-hire assignment. Failure to follow the policies and procedures can be grounds for termination. It is critical that you keep your commitments. Be dependable. Don't miss work. Be on time. Be truthful about skill level and follow these policies. It is our policy to maintain a drug and alcohol-free work environment that is safe and productive for all our employees and others doing business with us. The unlawful use, possession, purchase, sale, distribution, or being under the influence of an illegal drug and/or misuse of legal drugs while on our client's premises or while performing services for our company or clients is strictly prohibited. Reporting to work or performing services while impaired by the use of alcohol or consuming alcohol while on duty is also prohibited. In order to ensure compliance with this policy, substance abuse screening will be conducted in the following situations: pre-employment, for cause, randomly, post-accident. Compliance with this policy is a condition of employment. Employees who refuse to submit to substance abuse screening or test positive will be subject to termination. Attention to detail is critical in reporting your time. A timesheet is provided in your onboarding documents. Timesheets are also available online at www.medtemps.com or may be requested by phone. A pay period is from Sunday to Saturday, and payday is every Friday for the previous week's work. Timesheets are due by 4 p.m. on Mondays and can be faxed, emailed, or delivered after obtaining your supervisor's signed approval. Separate timesheets are required for each assignment. Start, finish, and lunch times should be entered in quarter hours. Only hours over 40 per week will be paid at time and a half overtime. Overtime must be approved by the client in advance. All pay history can be obtained per the online pay stub account instructions. There are 3 pay options to select from on the timesheet. One must be marked or your paycheck will be mailed. The first option, hold check, means a check can be picked up at the office on Friday. The second option, mail check, means your check will be mailed on Wednesday as long as your timesheet was received on time. The third option, direct deposit. It requires a signed company-specific direct deposit form on file along with documentation of the account and routing numbers. Direct deposit is sent once per week, and timesheets must be in on time with a signed approval to be direct deposited. To stop the direct deposit, a written request must be submitted. Here's an example of what your timesheet should look like when it is turned in. Remember to include the name of your work site. Remember to round the hours to the nearest quarter hour. Remember to sign your timesheet. Remember to select how you want to receive your paycheck. Remember to calculate your total hours worked. Remember to have your supervisor sign to verify the hours worked. If the client requires special screening, employees are required to comply. These may include a more extensive background check, pre-employment drug screens, immunization screening, and special testing. Your application packet requires candidates to sign an employment agreement, which outlines the rules for direct hire resulting from a referral, fax, email, introduction, interview, temp assignment, or recommendation by medical temporaries and all staff pros. To become eligible for direct hire by the client, candidates must work for the agency for 520 hours of employment consecutively on a particular assignment for a particular client. Upon completion of these conditions, the client may hire directly. A resignation from medical temporaries or all staff pros does not constitute eligibility for hire by the client unless the hours have been completed or a buyout from the client has been successfully negotiated or written permission has been approved and signed by the client and medical temporaries. A direct employment offer cannot be accepted for 1 year unless these requirements are completed. Medical temporaries, all staff pros, is the employer, not the client or site where an employee is placed. Thus, medical temporaries or all staff pros is responsible for its employees and handles all employment issues. For personal emergencies, please give your daycare, family, or school the office number and we will contact you immediately. Once placed on an assignment, you qualify to enroll in a sponsored medical indemnity benefit plan to supplement your medical expenses. It is not a substitute for essential health benefits or minimum essential coverage as defined by federal health law. Once placed, you will receive the health insurance enrollment form in the mail. When you accept an assignment, you must keep your commitment. If you have accepted shift work, you may not alter your shifts unless you have a bona fide emergency or illness. Failure to keep your commitment may be grounds for termination. Since Medical Temporaries All Staff Pros is your employer, any absences or anticipated tardiness must be reported by calling before your scheduled work time. Continue calling until you are able to speak to someone at the agency, either by calling the office number or on-call cell numbers. Calling the site directly or just leaving a message is not sufficient. If you are requesting approved time off, you must also obtain approval from Medical Temporaries All Staff Pros with reasonable notice. The client will be contacted for approval. It may be necessary to provide documentation regarding missed work. Employees are required to call regarding the following. If you are available for work or your availability has changed, you must call in and continue to call in at least monthly. If you are sick and can't go to work or need to leave work for an emergency or are putting in a request for approved time off. If you have any problem which will result in tardiness. Want to resign as a 2-week notice is required. If you have problems or concerns that might affect the ability to perform job duties. If you have an injury or illness on the job. If you are offered a long-term position at the current assignment. If your timesheet reporting is delayed or you have a problem with your paycheck. And if you have any changes of name, licensure, address, tax withholding, phone numbers, or resume or work history, or any reprimand or charge in licensure. All employees must report to work in a professional, business-appropriate manner. Short skirts, tank tops or camisole tops, leggings, jeans, skirts, and capri and crop pants are not acceptable attire unless approved by the client. Employees must report to work neat, clean, and pressed. If a client requires certain attire, such as scrubs, lab coat, etc., or has special dress code requirements, you will be notified prior to the assignment. Facial piercings must be removed prior to interviewing and prior to reporting to work. Tattoos should be covered. Excessively long nails are not acceptable. Employees must be in compliance with the dress code policy regardless of what the clients allow with other employees. Candidates and employees represent themselves in the job market and medical temporaries, all staff pros. Professional conduct is required for continued employment and continued recommendation for placement. Inappropriate conduct that can lead to termination or a not eligible for employment status includes, but is not limited to, the following: personal use of clients' phones or computers, offensive language and or harassment of any kind to clients or medical temporaries, all staff pros, staff and associates, violation of clients and medical temporaries, all staff pros policies to include sites smoking policies, use of personal cell phone, texting, or using work time for personal business or tasks. Cell phones are to be silenced and put away during work time. Failure to give a 2-week notice to resign from a job assignment. Falsification of hours worked on timesheet. Contacting the client directly in regards to a discharge from an assignment. If you have any questions regarding the Medical Temporaries All Staff Pros policies and procedures, please contact a staffing specialist if you have any questions. We are here to help you succeed.